especially him.
God, and that's your husband, Teresa.
37 years, what can I say? I can't turn it off. He doesn't know how.
He took the battery out. He said, put me on blast like that.
I love you, honey.
Thank you, Jimmy. We'll forgive you.
Okay, to continue my story, I was honored to get Maya Angelou. She agreed to come to the campus. And when I was taking her back to the airport, we were in her car, and she told me, she said that one of the most difficult things that we can ever do as human beings, it's to face the unknown. Mm-hmm. That is our biggest issue. We are so afraid of the unknown. She said there's very few givens in this planet, and she said one of them, though, is death. And she said that's one of the biggest unknowns that we're going to face. She said, so congratulations, you've already done it. She said, so if you can do the worst thing, what can you not do? She said, walk out, step out, okay, and just let go. And she said, if you walk out there, I guarantee you, his arms will be there to pick you up.
And he has.
And it has. And for you, happy birthday, you stepped off.
I most certainly did. Yes. Thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome. Okay, let's pass this on.
Hi, I'm Monica Cure Shahid. It says Monica Shahid Cure, but I guess when you get 60, you get those words twisted around. I have known my wonderful Jackie, I guess, 14 years now, from the agency that I once worked at. And besides my mother being my biggest cheerleader, Jackie has been
Always.
biggest cheerleader.
Always.
And I value her so much, and she's just a light. And if you ever want to know something and you want to hear it, tell it like it is, don't ask Jackie, because I asked her a question like, is this what? Yes, it is. So, but I am honored that she asked me to be a part of this wonderful celebration for her, and I would not have missed it for the world.
Thank you, Monica.
I love you.
I love you too.
Well, hello. Good evening. My name is Delisa Moore, and I too am a great, great fan and friend of Jackie Joyner. I love this woman. We go way back.
They trying to make me cry. They really stretching and they trying their best to make me cry.
No, it's the truth. You said just tell the truth. And that's what we're doing. We go way back. I mean, when Michelle was little, and watch my son, who is now 31. So we go way back, and we really supported each other. When you talk about what friendship is, Jackie knows the meaning of what being a friend is. Very loyal, very honest, will tell the truth in love. You might not want to hear it, but she gonna let you hear it. You might want to be prepared to hear it. And we were like magnets. We met actually in college. And can I tell the story? Wait a minute. It depends on the story. Thank you, Lily. We go way back, and we have been friends. There were times where we haven't talked to each other for months, years maybe, but she is a friend of all friends. And when you call her, she's there. When you need her, she's there. And she always has a positive word, no matter what's going on, to always show the sunshine shining on you rather than the clouds hanging over you. I love love you, Jackie, and happy birthday, happy 60th, my girl.
We plan to talk to you guys about a scandal called Franklin scandal. And not many of you responded when I asked who had heard of the Franklin scandal. And we're just going to throw this out here for your adventure and exploration. Go on the internet and Google the Franklin scandal. The Franklin scandal was a child pornography ring that led to the White House when Papa Bush was in office. And it dates as far back as 1993. In Omaha, Nebraska, there was a place for juveniles called Boys Town, where they sent, what they call the delinquent children, or as our society puts it, throwaways. People didn't care what happened to them. And a number of influential people began to go to Boys Town and got these kids, and they began to prostitute them in some of the most horrific ways. It was not your normal sexual activities, deviant sexual activities with these children. Well, the children began to grow up and became adults, and they wanted to get retribution. They wanted to get back to these folks that had done these horrific things to them. And there was a reporter, a journalist, that traces this back. And there's a movie, I think it's called The Silent Conspiracy of Silence. Google that when you go home. When the kids grew up, they took these folks to court, and of course, anything goes to the White House. Those are some really influential people. So they said, no, it's just a hoax. And they got many of the children to recant their stories, except for one young lady who said, I refuse to deny my experience. I refuse to deny it. And she was put in prison. She came out of prison, she went to school, she got her degree, she married, and had children, and is now prospering in the community. So these are some of the topics that we talk about. It's the Franklin scandal. Ladies, you want to add anything?
FranklinCase.org. That's where you can go, because if you Google it, when you do, you're going to get tons of information. But if you go to FranklinCase.org, and I'm sure it's going to be on the program. So when you get videos of this, it'll be there if you forget it. But you can go there and not only get everything, videos, everything they have about it, you can also, most importantly, get information on how to help children from this and preventive actions, because I think that's one of the things that Jackie's whole TV show is about. That's what I love about it, is that we're going to talk about things, but we're also going to at least give you some information to where you can, I mean, when you think about it, I think my biggest thing was when Jackie told me, Teresa, have you heard of this? And I was thinking, I thought I did, but no, I had not heard of it. And when I started researching it, I tell you, I really cried. I had to stop for a while. I couldn't believe it happened in our country. So what I started looking for was, okay, who's helping these people? That young lady, because when you start reading about this, you're going to find out about all the children that were not helped, that if they, well, I'm not even going to go into that. What I will say is go to that FranklinCase.org, and it'll help you to see if you see some nuances, things that might help you help somebody else and their child not to go through something like this. Hopefully, we always say we hope that it's somewhere else, but this was right here, right in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And for people our age, when we think of Boys Town, we think of Mickey Rooney in those nice black and white movies, and everybody's happy. And this is, oh yeah, this will blow your mind.
It really will.
Yeah, that's what's so disenchanting about it too, is that it almost, well, it doesn't almost, it does fall back along with but the Catholic Church. This boys' town was run, by the Archdiocese, and of course, the church and the priests did their own investigation. Well, of course, the investigation came up that exactly, that these boys were making up these stories, that they were taken to the White House for midnight tours and things like that, but it was all an incredible hoax. But as you see now, it's resonating again with the Catholic Church once again, and the boys, and it just bothers me that it just kind of swept underneath the carpet with, the Catholicism and the boys and everything. So it started then, and it's still going on right now. So yeah, it was very disenchanting to read about that. And that, like Teresa said and Jackie said, these were, politicians and people, that you wouldn't think, it was all connected with a credit union too. So while you were putting your money in Franklin Credit Union, you were helping to pay for some, boys' parties, with adults. And yes.
I'm glad you brought
exactly.
that up. I
Yeah.
forgot to mention that about Franklin.
Yeah, with a credit union. So I'm like, take my credit union. I want to know what y'all doing, but it is. If you have the time to read about it. Because when Jackie brought it to my attention, it was like, oh my goodness, because it was kind of swept underneath the carpet because it kind of dealt with the Catholic Church and the Republican Party, and it reaching up to Papa Bush. And so, well, you know what my political views are then. Anybody?
And just think, that happened in 1993. And most of you are just hearing about it. 1993. Yes, it did. It did, but it
Yeah, even
surfaced
did their own
with Nick
investigation.
Bryan in 1993. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the most important things and one of the reasons why we wanted to do this is that we want to plant a seed, because as a community we have a tendency, if it doesn't affect me directly,
Right.
then I don't care about it. And that's something that we really want to plant that seed, because there are, especially for those of us who work with kids, there are a lot of kids right here in Cincinnati who are affected by situations just like that, and it can be a member of their family doing that. And so we really want to challenge you to be more aware of what's going on around you. I think we've become so disassociated from ourselves that we are not our brother or our sister's keepers anymore. And that's the most important thing, really, because at the end of the day, I mean, we keep complaining about what's happening and our kids and so forth, but these kids, somebody had to listen to these kids. Somebody had to hear them, and it's going on right now. Somebody needs to listen to our kids, and you need to pay attention to your community. If that's your neighbor's child, and so is doing whatever, just because it's not your child doesn't mean that you do not take care of what needs to be taken care of, because we need to be one another's keepers, and I think that's what was really needed, because we put those politicians in place. You all voted for them, right? So
We've got someone at the mic.
Okay. Good evening, ladies. You mentioned the fact that the Republican Party was implemented. That's pretty inflammatory. Based on what? I mean,
We're telling you what we researched. We're not saying, we're putting it out here for you to do the research.
okay.
Go look like we look and formulate your own opinion. All we're giving you is the research and our opinions on what transpired.
And let me answer that, because in